Daylight, my MVVs, welcome.
They said a queen will always be a queen no matter what the situation is. When she steps in, you see the difference in everything. They said Queen Naomi shut down London with Ooni's business partners. In fact, that Queen Naomi, turned the entire roundtable meeting around and, in such a way that a business that Kabiesi was almost losing that business. Queen Naomi turned it around. They said Kabiesi celebrated Olori Naomi yesterday publicly in a meeting they had in the palace. Like the wins was something else. Kabiesi was so happy that he chose Olori Naomi to represent him. They say it was supposed to be a discreet meeting, a private business, roundtable in London involving some of the Ooni of Ife's long-standing European partners. Nothing public, no press, no fanfare, just high-level business and decision-making, the kind of event that would determine the future of key investment projects tied to heritage, tourism, agriculture, and innovation initiative the Ooni had been developing for years. Queen Naomi had been invited personally, assigned by the Ooni to represent him, alongside a few key aides and lawyers from, his European legal team. It was a big deal, but still confidential, the kind of meeting that determined whether deals move forward or die in silence. And it was Queen Naomi who was right there representing the Ooni of Ife, because at this time, a lot is happening in the palace. Kabiyesi could not go for that meeting. Then, on the other side, Dr. Elizabeth is also handling issues with Kabiyesi, and you do know that she is one of the most trusted, and for now, she's the one who is on ground there in Ile-Ife with the Ooni of Ife. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dela Ram. I bring you fresh and spicy just from the sources still on the royals. How are you guys doing? Happy weekends to you. I love you. Dela rights, my Dela rights, my Dela rights, my own people. Dela rights, my Dela rights, my Dela rights, my super people. I love you guys. Share, my people. It's not a small thing. No. They said the issue started weeks before the London event. Like what we are hearing, with everything that is going on right now, you do know that whether they take away immunity or not, those women are still wives to the Ooni of Ife. Don't get it twisted, right? And so they are still entitled to certain privileges in the palace. But, it will be at the discretion of the Ooni of Ife. If Kabiyesi says, okay, you take this appointment, they will go. If Kabiyesi say no, they will not, okay? Not like before where it will be an open timetable where every woman, you are the one who is going to Uganda, you are the one who is attending a meeting in Lagos, you are the one who is handling Ibadan and all of that. This time is going to be strictly on Ooni of Ife's discretion. So they said the issue started weeks before the London event where Olori Naomi went. You know that last week we got this information that Naomi was going to London to rest, okay? And that Kabiyesi had provided his private jet for Naomi to go. But it was later that we found out that Naomi was actually going for this meeting. And the Ebony had expressed interest in attending the business meeting, claiming she had contact in the UK and, knowledge of international business relations, which of course is true. It's true, but this time Kabiyesi chooses who he wants. She went, as far as reaching out to one of the Ooni's aide privately asking to be listed among the delegates. But the Ooni had already made up his mind. He told the aide clearly Queen Naomi would go. She would represent him, nobody else, okay? Now, it wasn't only Ebony that was interested, even Gospel was also interested in that event. But it's not business as usual again, where you can get up all an open chat where Dr. Elizabeth, who is preparing the schedule, will put everybody. This time they will strictly ask Kabiyesi, do you want this person here? Do you want that person here? That is what is going to happen after immunity is removed. But let me not digress. They said Ebony was furious. She felt sidelined. What does she know about international business? Ebony was asking, what does a whole Naomi knows about international business? Naomi is reading international relations. She will be graduating. I think, is it this year also? She'll be graduating either this year or next year. And Naomi, who is studying international relations, you'll be asking, what does she know about international business? It's you that studied accounting that should be doing international business. Okay, let us go. She had said in the palace one night, pacing the floor in front of Ikpe and Gospel, I have studied branding, I have done presentation, and yet he keeps speaking Olori Naomi. But it was not about appearance. They only knew Queen Naomi's strength. She had the calm, the grace, the insight, and more importantly, she understood him. She knew how to protect his interests without being loud. She could sit with billionaires, listen quietly and respond intelligently. That is exactly what this meeting required. And so Kabiyesi chose Olori Naomi. They said a meeting held in a private conference suite at one of the most discreet but high-end establishments in London. No media, no picture, just influence. The issue came up during the second section of the meeting. One of the partners, a major investor for the Netherlands, brought up a conflict in the agricultural expansion proposal. He pointed out that the Ooni's local land allocation in Osun had not been processed properly. He raised questions about authenticity, hinting that the investment might be pulled if clarity wasn't given. Tension filled the room. The legal team froze. The Ooni's lawyers began to explain the situation, but it wasn't convincing. The investors, interrupted him. This looks like a deliberate issue. I mean, a deliberate attempt to, let some things away. Okay, he said. That was what an investor said, that they didn't take their time to put the papers together. It's like this one is something that they did deliberately. Maybe the papers, they're finding it very difficult to get the papers out. They said, and Naomi took a breath and leaned forward. Sir, I understand your concern, she began, but I need to make one correction. There's nothing vague here. What you're looking at is a temporary administrative lack, not a legal flaw. And if I may, we have documents here that show clearly that the allocation process began even before this investment dialogue started. She brought out the file she had requested from Nigeria 2 nights earlier. She had stayed up reviewing all documents herself the night before the meeting, preparing, double checking, anticipating risks. Okay, the man looked at the papers and raised his eyebrow. Queen Naomi continued, we value your trust, but if what you are saying is that this investment is conditional upon 100% processed land, then we will not take your money. Not until that is ready. We don't compromise our value, even when it costs us profit. The room went silent because Ooni of Ife's legal team and everybody, they were expecting something else. Like, okay, just finding a way, some damage control, pamper these people. These people don't want you to pamper them. They want you to speak with confidence. For a moment, everyone stared at her. One of the British financiers nodded slowly. The Dutch investor sat back and looked again at the paper. You know what? That's fair, he said. And to be honest, it's the first honest response I have had all day since we started the meeting. From that moment, the room shifted, trust returned, and discussions reopened. The deal, which was nearly off the table, came back stronger. By the end of the third section, 2 new partners contracts were signed. One involving multi-million euro investment in ecotourism site across Osun and Ogun State. The other was a groundbreaking educational exchange program backed by a German foundation connecting cultural research centers in Nigeria with universities in the Europe. Okay. When the call came into the Ooni that evening, he was silent for several seconds before he responded. She did all that. He asked his aide, yes, Your Majesty. Calm, precise, very firm. The Europeans were impressed. Okay. In fact, they said Kabiyesi was so happy. Kabiyesi was so happy that he chose Naomi in the first place. Because one thing about Olori Naomi, if when I talk now, a lot of people will say, Delaram, you love Naomi so much, you're always praising her. Olori Naomi this, Olori Naomi this. Naomi is a very confident girl. You and I know that. This is not about Dilaram's love for Naomi. Naomi is a very confident girl. She is straightforward. She is that her confidence, that her ability to just go on with what she believes in is what is giving her, I think, a power over others. So that was what happened. They say Kabiesi could not believe it. Kabiesi was so happy because Kabiesi was feeling that because he was not there, things may go wrong. But Naomi was able to close up that business for the royal family. And now for those of them, these people who are always saying Naomi is eating, they are working, they are eating. Let's see who will say it again, because Naomi did not just close up 150 million, 100 million naira a month project. Naomi closed up on millions of dollars, euro, a project right there in the UK. So that is the same reason why people continue to say when it comes to Naomi and other Oloris, there are no basis for comparison whatsoever. Whatever you think, oh, you can say, but you see, Naomi is a powerhouse. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.